Okay people, this is himself, and in this video we're going to look at Negan's Intimidation Stance. This is part 1 where I show you the moves that come out of it and the frame traps you get. Also near the end I'm going to show you something a bit funny related to this stance, so stick around for that. So Intimidation Stance is done by hitting 3+4. Negan puts Lucille on his shoulder and then you have a selection of moves to use. What you can also do is walk forward and backwards, and you can cancel the stance by hitting down back. The first move we have is 1. This comes out in 14 frames, hits mid, and it's his fastest option. On block he's at -4, but on hit he's at +8. In that situation I'd go for up forward 4. This is a 17 frame uninterruptible mid. It's also safe on block at -7, +5 on hit, and if you get it on count hit you get a stun. On top of that it also tracks both ways so you won't get stepped. To get them to duck you can use down +3. This comes out in 15 frames and is only -12 on block. But what you can also try is down back 4. This is 19 frames so it can be interrupted, but on hit it's +3. On top of that it's only -13 on block, so only slightly worse than down +3. One final option is back +1/+2. This is 22 frames so it can also be interrupted, but on block it's +4 and it gets you a knockdown on hit. And on top of that it wall splats and it tracks both ways. Next move is the extension to Intimidation 1, which is 2. This is -13 on block, but the string can be hit confirmed, so you should never end up in that situation. On top of that the move also wall splats, so it's definitely one you should be using. Next move is Intimidation 2. This is a 20 frame mid that is +7 on block, but those frames are difficult to use because there's some pushback, so what I'd go for is DF4 or DB4. DF4 is an uninterruptible mid and DB4 is the only low that I could find that covers both backdashing and sidestepping. On hit however, things are way better for this move. The opponent lands face down feet away, and that means that D+3+4 is guaranteed, so your total damage is 43. But what's even better is that when you have rage, the rage drive is guaranteed. If you just do the standard version, they end up stuck on the ground, so you can still do lights out afterwards, and that takes your total damage to 60. Next move is Intimidation 1+2. This is a 15 frame high, and what makes it great is that it's both power crushing and homing. Now this is important because one of Negan's weaknesses is his tracking, but this move helps to cover that. What's also good is that on hit, against certain characters, FF2 is guaranteed. You do have to hold the last F to get the range, but you end up doing at least 40 damage. But that's not all. On block it's 0, so you have a safe power crushing move. Now people might not expect this, so they might throw something out afterwards, but if they do, you can try sidestep left 2 and hopefully punish them in the process. And if that wasn't enough, Intimidation 1+2 is also wall splatting, so it's definitely a good option here. Next move is Intimidation 1+3. This is an unescapable throw and it also wall splats. But the problem here is that it's so slow, it's 25 frames, and that means that some people can see it coming and probably duck in reaction. But against people who are super defensive or just freeze up, this might be a useful tool. Next move is Intimidation 4. This is a 25 frame mid that is -7 on block. On hit it knocks down and it can also wall splat. On count hit you get a stun, and a bonus feature is that it also hits grounded as well. But the weird thing is that he stays in stance, so it can be awkward to work with. Next move is Intimidation 3, and like the previous move, this is also -7 on block. Also like Intimidation 4, Negan recovers in stance, but what makes it different is that on hit you're actually at +27 guard frames. So in that instance I'd go for either Intimidation 2 for plus frames, or maybe even the throw, because here it's uninterruptible. Penultimate move is 2+3. This is an unblockable mid that can also wall splat, but as you can see it's also incredibly slow at 60 frames. So this move is one that has to be set up, it's not something that you can just throw out in the open. Final move from this stance is DF2. This is a 19 frame launcher that sends them a good height, but it's also incredibly risky because on block you're at -20. You do get some pushback, but pretty much everybody has something to punish you. So my advice is, if you're going to use it, you better be sure it's going to hit. So the last feature I want to talk about is the parry. While in stance, Negan will automatically low parry any low thrown at him, and the great thing is that when that happens you get the stun to juggle off. But this is no ordinary low parry, because Negan can parry stuff that a generic low parry won't. If Chloe goes for a rage art, Negan will hop over it, and although you don't get a full launch, she's going to be pretty much dead anyway. He will also do this to Yoshi's sword sweep, Again, just like Chloe's Rager, this cannot be low parried, but Negan Stance has no problem here and you get the full launch. So that's part 1 done. In part 2 I'll be covering the moves that go into stance, so if you want to see that when it comes out, make sure you subscribe. Also, if you haven't done so already, hit the bell icon next to it as well. That way you'll get a notification every time I upload something new and you won't miss anything. As always, I hope you guys learned something here. If you did, then give me a thumbs up. If you think I've missed something out or got something wrong, then say so in the comments. There's more Negan guides coming, so keep your eyes peeled for that, and I'll see you guys in the future.